Holis, I'm Stephie. Welcome back to my magical corner. Okay, so I had planned to do this video or before Day of the Dead, but because I've been having internet problems and because I've been so busy with school and work I didn't have the time to sit down and record it. The week that I intended to record this was right before Day of the Dead, but I had to go to the US. I had to go finish things for Halloween for my kids. It was hectic. It's been hectic. So yeah. But I wanted to create a little bit of I wanted to create this video to talk a bit about why Coco is so important as a movie and the cultural impact that it can have, that it had, still has, and can have. Okay, so the movie Coco, if you haven't seen it, it's centered around Day of the Dead, Dia de Muertos. Day of the Dead is a Mexican tradition. It can be kinda dated to Spain, if I remember correctly, a little bit differently. But since before that, Mexicans already had a respect and tradition for death. So it was like a mashup of traditions. Right now, each state kind of has like the same goes around the same guidelines of what to do on that day, but it can have a little bit of different things. There are some states that go to a graveyard, they visit their family at night, and they will stay there, have like a family get together. Some of them even drink, some of them go with mariachi or with their music. Others just go, they visit them with respect, or rather without that big of a fuss. And afterwards, there's like a festival and this big celebration. It can vary from state to state or even for town to town. I'm at the north, so I have like both traditions here. We go hard on Halloween, and we didn't go that hard on Day of the Dead until recently. This year we had a our first festival. I wanted to go, but I had to go to the US for some things, so I couldn't. And yeah, Day of the Dead here is like a really big thing because it's the day that we honor the people that is no longer with us. We create this huge altar. Well, depends on the person. There are different versions. There's like the 7-step altar, there's a 3-step altar, depends on the person. But we create this altar that has like pictures of the family members that you want to honor, the food they liked, the cempasúchil flowers, a black dog, the cross made with salt and most of the time decorated with flowers, and all these candles, the dead bread, pan de muerto, which is so delicious. I honestly always look forward for this time of the year because of that. Um, the sugar skulls decorating also the altar, and after that, different variations. Some people add religious images. Others add little trinkets that that person used to have or similar to what they used to have. Alcohol if it's an adult who used to drink, toys if it's a kid, different things. And after that, then you can decorate it the way that you want. Usually schools or museums or that kind of public places go all the way out, and they even add full schools that we call Catrinas, full skeletons that we call Catrinas because they're all dressed and they're supposed to represent a female version of death. But this version is like more fun, more, yeah, more fun, more festive. Yeah, that's a little bit like what you can see around those days when it's the Day of the Dead. Here, people usually go to the graveyard the second, meaning the instead of going, because supposedly you have to go to a graveyard the 1st of November and spend the night to receive the 2nd of November, which is to receive your relatives. But here they're more, it's a kind, sometimes it can be a little bit more insecure, or people are more afraid of the graveyards here in the north because of creepy stuff. So they tend to go the 2nd since the morning, or just go a little bit later when people are already drunk at their homes and visit them for a while. It depends on the family, it depends on the person and their traditions. Usually that's how they do it here. I can't go visit my grandparents' graveyard because they're in another city, and usually I either don't have the money or am busy, like right now with work. But we do have a tradition of going on Christmas, which we haven't done in like 3 years after a car accident. That was so creepy. It's like, it was like they didn't want us to come, so we were like, okay, we're not going. But yeah, Pixar and Disney doing a movie about something that is so Mexican and showing a Mexican culture that isn't Mexican American but from here, because to me it's two different cultures. I mean, you can be Mexican descent in America, but because you were raised in another country, even if your parents were raised here, the cultural differences are very, very big because you're in another country that has different customs, different traditions, or a different way of going around life from here. So even if you're of Mexican descent or born here but raised over there, the cultural differences are still huge. And showing that this side of the border, more specifically somewhere way down the south, it's something that I really appreciated because, well, seeing that it's very, very rare, and for Disney to do that was fantastic, and for them to show how well they did their homework by investigating all of their traditions and how they celebrated the Day of the Dead and how the people from that town went around life was totally amazing. I was very, very surprised about it because there's another movie called The Book of Life, which I didn't like that much. Sorry, but there was a joke about Tijuana that I didn't like at all, so no. That movie is a big no for me. That just, no. I mean, Krusty the Clown can make fun of Tijuana, but not a movie that's supposed to go for kids. Okay, so they didn't like that part. But yeah, Coco was very, very respectful of our tradition, of our country, of our people. And the story was so beautiful. I loved it so much. And showing that side of our culture to the rest of the world, I think it was very, very important because when you go to the news in the United States, I'm at the border, so I can see what the news is telling people here in California, like, oh, don't go to Tijuana, it's very unsafe. Don't go to Rosarito because it's it's this and that, and you're going to get robbed, or they're going to do this to you. Only if you meet the wrong people. Only if you do illegal things here. If you come down, have a great time, and know where not to go because it's like again where the illegal stuff takes place, like every other city in every other part of the world, then you're okay. And they showed a more family friendly, a more traditional place, a place that it's like through a Mexican's eyes, because you can go to a place and show that place through your eyes as an outsider, as a tourist, as a American. But to show a place through a local's eyes, I think that was like the point that I rescue the most. Because there are other movies that they show you a place through the tourist eyes. Even though the protagonist or whatever it's from that place, you can still see that it's not really that place as a local. I mean, it's not viewed as a local. So that's what I love the most about Coco, because it's, even though they spend most of their time at the land of the dead, you can still have a grasp of the traditions, or how we as Mexicans go around life, or yeah, how as if it was viewed as through a Mexican eyes. So yeah, I think Coco is important because of that, because it shows another side of us, a side that the news doesn't show usually, because um it's not terrifying, or it's not about drugs, or not about this. So yeah, I know it's 12 minutes already. I really wanted to make this video. I don't know, I wanted to express why as a Mexican Coco is important. And yeah, because I love that movie also for personal reasons. The fact that Mama Coco has Alzheimer's or is struggling with memory hits so close to home. And but that's like a whole other story. The main point here is that it's a movie shown through a Mexican's eyes, even when the creators are like over there in California. They really did their homework very well, and I applaud them for that. And yeah, that's basically all I wanted to express. And I think that a lot of people that I've talked to agree that the move that they made of showing this side of us was also very important. And a huge plus for me was that Disney didn't allow Argentina and Spain to their own dubs, because when those countries, when when a Disney movie comes out, Spain usually goes like, oh, we are not going to take the Latin American dubs. We're going to create our own one. Sometimes Argentina does it too, but this time they were like, this is a Mexican movie, you're not doing it. So they had to watch a movie with our with our dubs. So that was amazing. A huge plus for that. But yeah, if you wanna continue with this anxious journey of me with Disney in life, just subscribe. Down in the description I will have my social media, and if you would like to see more about my city, I live in Tijuana, or other stuff, you can comment them down below. And see you next time. Bye.